Dear friends, welcome to my video. In this video, we'll see how to create Excel file from a list view data and save it in the download directory from your Android app. So let's begin. We'll create a new project, empty activity, Excel file from list view. You can name it anything, it doesn't matter. Click finish and wait for the environment to load up. Once the environment loads up, first and foremost what I will do is I will update the Gradle file to implement the required library. So for that, what you can do is implementation and implementation of we'll use Apache library. So org.apache, since it's not a and I think the latest version right now is, if I'm not wrong, 5.0.org. If it's not a latest version anyway, it will prompt mostly Android is to the prompts like it's prompting over here. So if I hover over here and press Alt Enter, it will say change to 1.9.0. So yeah, you can do that as well. And here since it's not prompting, so it's fine. Now click sync now and wait for the syncing to happen. It may take a while if it's first time you're doing it. And once done that, then we'll switch to our layout. And in layout, I can minimize the left hand side probably. I don't need it anymore. And what I can do is I don't need this text view. What I'll need is a list view. So I'll just quickly search for list view and I'll place this list view over here. Normally it will hold the complete screen. So what I'll do is I'll just I'll bring it in center somewhere. Like this. We'll populate it value from our Java code. And one button will put to trigger the creation of the file. So one by one, first let me complete this list view, put the required constraints and give the ID. You can give this any ID, but I'm giving the list view itself. And to this button, I will again give the constraints and name this button such as, for example, create Excel file. It doesn't matter, bring it somewhere in the center. So things looks good. I'll quickly, first and foremost, what I'll do is quickly create a public method, public void button create Excel file view. So why this method will associate it with the button onClick attribute over here. So if I scroll down, perfect over here. I think more or less our layout is complete. We can also trigger or at least start the emulator in parallel on the right hand side. Yes. So now in Java code, what I'll do is first and foremost, let me create this one. No, private class variable, not public. Private class variable to access the list view. So I'll just name it list view, and in the onCreate method itself, I'll associate it list view, find view by id r.id.list view. I'll associate it with the respective widget in my layout. So once done that, what I will do is now I will populate the value of the list view in this onCreate method itself. So for that, first I'll create a probably a string array with the string array, and what I can do is I can just keep this comma with an example Excel sheet from, I'm not sure what is happening. So programmer comma world. Perfect. So since we are creating an array, I think it should not be a string, but a string array like this. Perfect. Okay, right inside my emulator has come up, but there's some problem. I think I can close the app. It's fine for the time being, and wait for my complete code to be ready. So once my string this is ready, what I can do is I can then populate the list value with this data. So list value set adapter and the new array adapter, perfect, and this will of type string of course, and in this main activity dot this, and the second argument will be probably the item list. So that what we can do is android dot r dot layout dot simple list item one, yeah, this one, and then the third argument could be the my array itself, the string array, perfect. So once we have it, yeah, so now if I start, most likely it should work with the data whatever I'm showing, it will come in the list view. But however, our main job is to create an Excel file out of this. So yeah, this is my list view, which is called. So I want to create an Excel file like this over here. So let me begin over here. So once the button is clicked and my code comes here, so what I'll do is I'll create first a workbook, which is a part of that library what we have implemented, Apache POI. So just press Alt Enter to import the required packages here, and then new HSF workbook. Perfect. Now this workbook is the file, or you can say it's the complete Excel sheet. Now we can create the respective sheet out of it. So HSF sheet, and again I think we can press Alt Enter to let it get it included. If it's not giving you that option for Alt Enter, what you can do is you can manually also import this imports, all those imports. I'll post this code in my web page, so you can take the code from there as well to import all the packages. Okay, so once we have it, then what we can do is create sheet, yeah. So and you can leave it like this also, you can give any custom name also. So say for example my sheet, okay, it doesn't matter. So this will be the sheet name in the file. So that if there are multiple sheets, this will help, this name will help over here. Okay, so once this is done, then what we can do is we can create the row and the respective column or in this sheet. So what we can do is first we'll create a row, okay, and again same thing, HSF row, and this we can create using the whatever the sheet we have created above, create row, and it's asking for the row number, so it will be the first row. Okay, and now we can create the respective columns from this also from this row. So for each row there will be multiple columns. So what we can do is HSF, and yeah, of course instead of column we will say it as cell, which will be respective. Okay, press Alt Enter, and this is nothing but HSS row dot create cell, and here the input will be the column number, so column index. So let's assume if we are starting with the 0th index, so this will be 0th index, and then what we can do is we can set the value of this in this cell. So set cell value, perfect, and in this value we can give it anything, any data type, it will accept anything. So for the time being I'm just putting one, just for a placeholder. However, we have to modify it now. So this will be when we just wanted to only populate one cell, but over here in our case the requirement is we have to populate from the list view. So let's create a for loop very quickly. int I equal to 0, I less than, and I think we can get the list get count, which is the size of the my list view, and I plus plus, perfect. And now in this for loop, one by one we can populate the value of this. So what I'll do is I'll just bring this code inside this, and instead of column I'll use this ith term, and also here I'll get the value from list view itself. List get item at position, which is ith position, and we have to change it to the string format. Perfect. So this will be working fine. So once our workbook is ready, then we have to save it. So what we can do is we can probably write another method to save the workbook. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly create another, and this could be private. I don't think I'll need to return anything. Save workbook, and the parameter which it will pass is probably of type HSSF workbook. Perfect. Yeah, and I'll call this method from here. save workbook, and I'll pass on my workbook to this method. Now in this method we have to save it in downloads folder. So for that, first and foremost, I'll create a storage manager, and that will get system service, and the service it will get is storage service. So storage service, perfect. It may ask me to type cast, so that's fine. Cast it to the whatever storage manager they ask for, and then we can create the storage volume out of it. Storage volume, storage volume, storage manager, whatever we created above, and we can get the storage volumes. Yes, this one, and then get the zeroth index, which is basically for the internal storage. One is for the external storage. So we will be accessing the download folder. So go for the internal storage, which is downloads folder is a part of the internal storage here. Okay, and then we can get not the file observer. We'll get the file uh, uh, output uh, output file. Yeah. So I think it's asking again me to do that, or enter, so it can include the required package and new file. And in this, what we can do is we can give the storage volume get directory, the complete path will be not a description but a directory. And once we have that, then of course get path, which will bring me the string format, and then we can append the required file name to this. So what we can do, we can, of course, first we have to navigate to the download folder, and then we can give it any name. Say for example, programmer world.xls file. Yeah. So this is a sample file, and once we have the file name, then we can start writing to this file. So for that, what we'll do is we will just create the output string, file output string equal to new file output string, and I think the input it will require is the file name, which we can give what we have just now created. Okay, so I think it may ask you to encapsulate it using try catch. Yeah, because it's a very sensitive API is what we are calling, so any exceptions should be definitely be caught. Okay, so once we have it, then what we can do is we can then write our workbook, whatever we have created above. So there is a write method, and we have to write using the output string. So that's what we can use here. And once we have done it, then we can just close, and we can probably close the workbook as well. Perfect. And then what we can do is we can probably, I'm not sure why all these things are giving. Let me see, add cache clause, replace blah blah. Okay, so what I can do is instead of this, I'll just put an exception which will cover all the exceptions, whatever is possible. So once done, then probably I can toast, show some toast, and that is successful or fail, whatever. So this and second outcome will be file created successfully, and then the length should be, I'll go for long, I like that, and show. Perfect. And if it's not successful, then what we can do is we can come here and make it as file creation. Probably we can change here, fail. Perfect. Okay, so now I think more or less it's ready, my code. Let me rerun it and see how it comes up. So I'm rerunning it in my app. Yeah, so let me click this and see if the toast comes. So file created successfully. It's written over here is a bit small if you are able to see, but nevertheless what we can do is we can quickly navigate to the download folder and see what happens. I'm expecting a file with this name, programmable.xls. Yeah, perfect, this is a file. If I click this file, and it asks what app should I open with Excel. Of course, I think I'll just click just once. Yes, it's an Excel file, so it should be open in an Excel file app, and yeah, it's opening, so I'll have to give it a time. Perfect. So if you notice, let me zoom in a bit. So this is what comes up. So this is an example sheet from programmable. That's what we, I think we typed in our uh, list view, and that's what is coming over here. Perfect. So that's all I wanted to show you. Its approach is simple. You can use different input method. It could be once you have the input text and all in your code, you can definitely use different approaches to update your Excel sheet. Like in this case, we are using this for loop over here. So that's all. I hope this video is useful to you. If you have any questions or suggestions, then please put in the comment section below. And if you like this video, then please subscribe to my channel. Thank you and have a nice day. Bye.